Hi and welcome to another Pick a Card general reading. Today's reading is a beautiful suggestion. I feel like I say that every video, but honestly, it's my small way of trying to give back because I do receive a lot of beautiful messages from each and every one of you and I'm so grateful, but I'm not always able to respond. So I do listen to your suggestions and today's video is another wonderful suggestion. It is, in my interpretation, going to be called the blue pill, red pill video because let's be honest, if you've been following me for a little while, you know that I'm always referencing the Matrix. And I think that today's concept can fall into that theme fairly easily. I was recently reached out to by a viewer who explained that they have an important decision to make and they kind of want to know what would happen if they picked this decision and what would happen if they picked that decision. So that is the theme of this video. We've only got 3 groups, but technically there's going to be 6 outcomes. In each of these groups, I will quickly break down what that decision may be so that you know that this is your group, and then I will divert that group into the 2 choices. So if you pick option A or choice A, this is what will happen. If you pick choice B, this is what will happen. That is why it's called the red pill, blue pill video. If you take the red pill, this is what will happen. If you take the blue pill, this is what will happen. There's only going to be 3 groups because of that. It's going to be a fairly extensive reading. I'm going to try to keep it to roughly 30 minutes, but there's going to be a lot of information. And the extended will vary depending on each group, but there will definitely be an extended to this reading on Patreon. So we do have 3 groups. These are all a form of quartz. We have the sort of smoky raw quartz over here. This is honestly just a beautiful piece of quartz that I found near my home. I think this was actually a gift to me. No, I found it on a beach, that's right. Group 2, you are the rose quartz crystal today. And group 3, you are the other quartz crystal. It doesn't have a name, this one, but it's quite beautiful. So just to go over the concept again really quickly, this is going to be the red pill, blue pill video. We're examining a choice that you may be faced with. There will either be an A or B outcome. I will quickly and briefly go over what that choice may look like so that you know this is definitely your group, and then I will explain what will happen if you pick the red pill or the blue pill in your choice. It's going to be fun, I hope, even though the topics may be serious. Obviously this video is aimed to give you clarity. It is aimed to be much less confusing than me explaining it. So find out which of these 3 groups you're feeling most called to, and when you're ready, the timestamps are in the description box below for you to join me in your video. Hi group 1 and welcome. If you chose the smoky quartz crystal, then this is going to be your reading. I'm just quickly going to take my watch off because I don't actually like wearing a watch during these videos. I should have done that before I pressed record, but oh well. I just hate how it bangs on the table. That's the word, table. So group 1, welcome to the red pill, blue pill video. Today's video is aimed to give you clarity on a decision you may currently be facing or may be facing in the near future. I'm going to get tarot first to examine exactly what this decision is. That way you know whether or not this is your group, and then we will delve deeper into what the outcome of your decision looks like if you choose the red pill or the blue pill, option A or option B. Now, what decision or choice may group 1 be facing in the near future, Spirit? We have Judgment, and we also have the Hanged Man. Interesting. Your bottom deck energy is the 9 of Swords. So Spirit is indicating that this is going to be happening very, very soon for you, my group 1s. What I'm seeing with these cards is that in the near future, you will be facing a decision of whether you want to pursue a new perspective on your circumstances or whether you wish to continue with the way you are currently perceiving your circumstances. Now, for many of you, it's ultimately a decision that is going to impact your well-being here. That's what I'm seeing. Although other people may be involved, although other circumstances may be influencing this decision, it is really about whether or not you are allowing yourself to see things from a new perspective, or whether you are going to continue with the ideas and information that you currently have. Judgment is here calling for you to maintain an open mind, but there is a stubbornness to this card. This card is indicating that part of you has already made your mind up, and regardless of what new information comes, you have one particular path that you want to take. The Hanged Man is saying that you may need to pause in order for this information to sink in properly. The Hanged Man is also calling for you to make this an intuitive decision that is in line with how you are feeling and what your heart is calling you to do. But overall, this is another thinking card. The Hanged Man is saying that you may get stuck and fall back on old patterns instead of stepping into this new way of thinking. And the Nine of Swords is telling me that this is very fast moving. And for many of you, it's coming after a period of what appeared to be stagnation, or what appeared to be a lot of sorrow is what I want to say, perhaps loneliness, or just feeling somewhat isolated in this process. I think that you have the opportunity to leave that behind, but some of you aren't seeing it that way. You're seeing whatever's going to be happening very soon as something that is challenging you to repeat past mistakes. So what I'm kind of getting is that someone or something is going to come into your life and challenge you to change the way that you've been doing things, to change the way that you've been thinking, to change the way that you've been perhaps projecting your future expectations, because some of you, this is literally like the red pill is destroying the reality as you know it, and you're feeling very tempted to stay in what you are comfortable with doing. But I think that whatever is coming towards you is going to be very enticing. So let's examine what will happen if you choose to open your mind to this new perspective. And I'm using 18 plus cards. I might put a little disclaimer in the info box. What happens if group 1 chooses the red pill, if they open their perspective and keep an open mind? What happens if group 1 keeps an open mind? What does your red pill situation look like, group 1? Okay. Oh my days. Sorry. Whew, got too excited. All right, let's have a look quickly. Oh, wow. Okay, so first of all, I'm going to use this again after, but your bottom deck energy is the Four of Cups. So group 1, if you choose the red pill, if you choose to open your mind, if you choose to keep an open mind to allow new information to come in and to wait until your intuitive body, your intuitive soul, and your heart chakra is ready to act, you are ultimately ending this cycle of sorrow, this cycle of isolation for some of you, this cycle of inclusive thinking. Some of you had very specific expectations on how your future may look, and this is going to change that. With the Four of Cups, there is going to be a feeling here of breaking out of boredom. I feel like choosing the red pill for you is about not missing out on an opportunity. That is what the universe is cautioning us with the Four of Cups. If you don't choose to adapt to whatever this new information is, this new situation, this new person, you are going to face another period or another cycle of stagnation that is ultimately going to lead you back here with the Nine of Swords. The Nine of Swords, as painful as it can be, it varies. It doesn't have to be painful, but it is an opportunity to receive an epiphany, to receive an aha moment, like, wow, actually, perhaps I wasn't doing things to the best of my ability, or perhaps I could do things differently next time. And it's like, if you do this, if you play your cards right, there doesn't have to be a next time. With the Nine of Swords reverse, Spirit is saying we can end this tough cycle once and for all. We don't ever have to go back to it. We can have a completely fresh start, a completely new beginning. That doesn't mean that we're ignoring pre-existing conditions. I need to say this because I feel that maybe some of you are constantly coping with your mental health, and you're very aware that your mental health moves in cycles, and it's going to be something that you have to live with. Spirit is saying the tough cycle that we're ending is this perspective on what your future looks like. It can be a lot easier. It doesn't have to be as limiting as the pessimistic outlook that you may currently have. Choosing the red pill in your situation, Group 1 gives you a passionate new beginning. And for some of you, this is a repurposing of old energy. It's just realigning with a new purpose, is what I feel mostly. The Ace of Wands in your spread is really giving me new purpose energy. It just feels like a new purpose, a new creative pursuit, a new opportunity to be passionate again, to feel inspired by your life again, to feel passionate about your life again. It's a completely new beginning with the Fool card. And there is a feeling of fear here because you're not a fool and you don't ever want to be considered a fool. You don't want to make a foolish decision. You don't want to look like a fool, but this card is upright because you won't. The universe has your back. If you can trust yourself enough to make this leap of faith, then we have the opportunity here, Group 1, to end some really tough cycles, to once and for all break out of this idea that you don't deserve to be happy, or that you don't deserve to have love, or that you don't deserve to be successful, or that opportunities never seem to come to you. We're breaking out of this cycle of pessimism and allowing ourselves to be open to whatever the universe can bring us in terms of abundance. And once you trust that, once you put your faith in the universe, it really pays off very quickly. We have a very new passionate beginning here with the Ace of Wands. So that is what your red pill scenario looks like. Let's have a look at your blue pill. Group 1, please, Spirit. What happens if they don't take this opportunity? What happens if they choose to maintain their current cycle? What happens if they don't change their perspective? What does the blue pill option look like for Group 1? I'll take this card first. We have the Five of Cups reversed. Let's get more cards first, but I just got a message, so I'll say that after. We have the Eight of Swords reversed. Okay. Do I want to get one more card? Yes. Ooh, excuse me. Sorry, I don't want to take it like that, so just make it obvious. Which of these? Thank you. The World. Okay, alright. And your bottom deck energy is the Eight of Cups. I had a feeling this was going to come out. We're stuck in cycles. 2 eights reversed. We're stuck in cycles. First of all, I actually need to come back to the elephant in the room, the Hanged Man. Another way that you can understand that this is your group is that Spirit is saying that some of you have been in this cycle for a very long time. Some of you have been stagnant and stuck in whatever this is for a very long time. You've either been single for a very long time, you've been in the same job for a very long time, you've been living in the same conditions or in the same routine for a very long time, you've been experiencing the same challenges for a very long time. It's been a while since you've been passionate about your life for a very long time. That is another way that you could know that this is your group. You don't have to tick all of those boxes, but at least one of them. Spirit is indicating with the Hanged Man that you've been on pause for a very long time in at least one aspect of your life. And taking the red pill in this situation has the opportunity to change things very quickly. And I think that there's a lot of fear in that because this year has proven to us that not all change is good, right? But at the same time, we have to instigate change in order to grow, in order to develop our circumstances. If we're not happy where we are, then change is necessary. Now, in terms of what happens if you take the blue pill, so to speak, if you don't choose to incorporate this new perspective, if you don't choose to take this red pill opportunity, Spirit is saying that the blue pill will lead to a lot of emotional how do I best describe this? This is the Eight of Cups reversed. When eights are reversed, it's this feeling of being stuck in a cycle. It's like we had the opportunity to break out of something, but we're having to go through it again. And that's why in a love reading, the Eight of Cups can talk about someone from your past coming back because that cycle hasn't finished yet. But for you, the blue pill is about your life just being this continuous cycle of feeling as though emotionally you're only peaking so far. I do feel like we get trapped in this cycle of feeling like there's got to be more, but we never quite break that barrier. That is what the blue pill looks like for you. It's like you do have moments of happiness, you do have moments of joy, but you never quite break that barrier and make it to the full 10 cups. You never quite break that barrier and start again with the Ace of Cups. There's never an Ace moment, and there's never a 10 moment. We're never quite completing the cycle here. We're just constantly cycling through until something changes that. And there's 2 8s in your reading that indicate the same thing on the blue pill side. So coming back to the start, the first card that I pulled out for your blue pill reading is the 5 of Cups reverse. So the first thing that you need to know is that your happiness starts from within. Your sense of emotional fulfillment starts from within. Whether you choose the blue pill or the red pill, no one can make you happy until you find that happiness for yourself. That is what the 5 of Cups is saying on the blue pill side. Yes, this opportunity could lead to a lot of success, but even if you pass on this opportunity, whether it's with a person or a circumstance, you are still going to have to deal with your feelings. You are still going to have to constantly remind yourself that no one on this earth can truly dictate or control your happiness. That is up to you. And that is something that both sides of your decision need to know. The 5 of Cups reversed, however, is saying that it's going to be a lot more difficult to maintain this level of optimism when you have to also deal with the regret of not taking this opportunity. The 5 of Cups reverse indicates that this process of healing takes a little bit longer because we're adding more to it. We're adding more guilt, we're adding more regret, and we're adding more feelings of, I've just missed out on a wonderful opportunity. So that is how we start the blue pill side. The blue pill side then follows with the 8 of Swords. And the 8 of Swords here, reversed, is saying that we start to get stuck in this cycle of not feeling good about ourselves. There is a cycle of regret here. There is a cycle of, I'm just going to tell myself that, it just, whatever happens, happens, and I clearly wasn't meant to have that in my life. But you can't stop thinking about it. You still can't stop thinking about it. And you're going to know in your heart that this maybe wasn't the decision you were meant to make, which is why your major arcana are telling you to give yourself time to make an intuitive decision here, the right decision from your heart, not from your mind, because your mind will instantly know, oh shit, sorry group 1 for swearing, but I made the wrong decision here. And even though you try to trick yourself otherwise, I do feel like you carry this regret very personally and internalize it instantly. You're very strong, group 1. Don't get me wrong. You are incredibly strong. Your mind is a fortress of solitude, and your emotions are so buried at times. I think that you're the kind of people who, even if you do cry around others, it's only a fraction of how you truly feel on the inside. There's a lot of internalization here. There's a lot of feeling as though you can't connect with others in order to overcome this. And we follow that with the World. So the important thing that you need to know with the World card ending your blue pill reading is that regardless of which choice you make, everything does ultimately happen for a reason. If you choose not to take advantage of the red pill opportunity, Spirit is saying, we do have an opportunity to close a cycle and start fresh. It's just going to take a lot longer. The World card is influenced by Saturn, and Saturn is a card of achievements, but it is also a very long process. It's a very slow-moving energy. So ultimately, not choosing the red pill doesn't mean that you'll never have a good new beginning. It just means that it's going to take a lot longer for us to close this cycle for you. It's going to take a lot longer for you to appreciate your achievements and to understand, I want to say, the flow and process of things, because for some reason, the lesson that you need to learn is to not let fear dictate your choices. And fear will continue to do so until you realize that regardless of the circumstances or the person that's trying to come into your life, until you change that mindset, you're going to continue to let fear dictate your choices. So it's just a longer way to learn. That is one of the main lessons that this circumstance is teaching you, is to not let fear dictate your choices. Doesn't mean that you never learn that lesson. It's just a lot longer of a process over here with the blue pill. Now I'm going to get some major arcana to see if there's any other information that you need to. Did I just say major arcana? Oracle cards. I'm going to get some oracle cards to see if there's any other information that you need to know about your red pill, blue pill decision. What does group 1 need to know about their red pill, blue pill decision, Spirit? We have flying. I haven't seen this card in so long. So this is the number 20. and it's got some beautiful colors on it. Group 1, Spirit is indicating that this has a lot of opportunity to liberate you, to soar you to new heights. I feel so much ecstasy on this card, just this beautiful liberating feeling, and there's no fear here. Like, I personally have a mild fear of heights that I've been trying to overcome in my adult life, but I just look at this and feel so much joy and happiness and security, ironically. So I think that Spirit is saying that choosing the red pill is going to be a little bit of a scary experience initially, but you're very quickly going to realize that this was the decision you were meant to make. That sense of fear isn't going to last for very long. You're going to receive information that confirms that you are secure in this decision. And I think that there's so much ecstasy here. There's so much joy, so much passion, so much excitement. We have Sacred Pool 47. So Spirit is indicating honor that special place within you. You know, take time out, meditate if that helps. Go for a long drive to a beautiful quiet place and just listen to that beautiful inner wisdom. Spirit is saying that this doesn't have to be complicated. It's as simple as trusting yourself and trusting that voice within to make the right decision here. Your bottom deck energy is Metamorphosis, and it was actually flipped. So Spirit is saying that change is necessary. Change is inevitable. The choice is yours to make, but ultimately, this lifetime was designed for you to evolve. And whether you choose to evolve rapidly by taking the red pill here, or whether you choose to evolve slowly by taking the blue pill, you're going to evolve regardless. The choice is really yours to make. Goodness. So Group 1, I think that's where I'm going to leave your reading. I want to take this into the extended now. I want to delve deeper into this reading by looking at it in terms of love, career, and life. I want to really examine how this is influencing those of you in those 3 different areas. And you may only find that the love portion resonates for you, or you may find that the career portion resonates, or all 3 could. But I really want to delve into this deeper so that you understand exactly what this choice is and that you have as much information as possible to make the right decision. So thank you so much for joining me. If this is where you are leaving us, look after your wonderful self. Trust that beautiful inner voice. It's always good to have information from readings like this, but ultimately the choice is yours to make. For those of you who are joining me on Patreon, I shall see you shortly. And for those of you who are leaving, bye! Hi Group 2 and welcome. If you chose the rose quartz crystal, then this will be your reading. Now I'm going to pop the crystal over there just to go through the intro again. Group 2, today's reading is inspired by choice, a decision. Do you take the red pill or do you take the blue pill? So obviously it's also inspired by the Matrix. If you've been following me for a while, you know that I always reference the Matrix. And I think that today's video was a beautiful excuse to incorporate 2 things that I love, the Matrix and choices. So, goodness, we're going to start by understanding your energy first to make sure that this is your group. So I'm going to be asking Spirit about this decision. What is this decision about? And what information do you need to know in order to at least appreciate that this is your group? Group 2, please, Spirit. What can you tell me about the decision they have to make? What can you tell me about the decision they have to make? Oh, we have the Queen of Wands. It's a fiery decision, perhaps creative for some of you. There's an element here of attraction. I want to say that some of you feel you can't trust this decision because it's passion-based, because it's based off of desire, or for some of you lust, but for others of you it's a very passionate thing. It's a creative pursuit for some of you. Group 2, what can you tell me about this decision that they have to make, Spirit? What can you tell me about this decision? We have the 10 of Cups in the reverse. Oh, so it's something that I feel is a very difficult decision to make, because for some of you it impacts others in your life. It impacts other people or workmates, or there's a feeling as though the selfless thing is to maintain what you're doing now. But if you want to take this opportunity for you, then you have to break out. You have to go against what other people need, or what other people want, or what other people expect from you, at least. Group 2, what can you tell me about this decision? What can you tell me about this decision. We have Temperance. So it's something that you are very much in control of. I want to say that this is a decision that you don't want to make impulsively. You want to wait until the time is right. You want to wait until you feel comfortable enough to make the right choice. You want to wait until you have all the information that you need. There is a feeling here of really holding back with the Temperance card. The Temperance card is about self-restraint and self-control, making sure that you're not acting impulsively or out of that first reaction, which is difficult because there is so much passion here. I want to say with the Ten of Cups as well that this decision has every opportunity of making you feel very fulfilled, of helping you feel long-term happiness, of securing a lot of emotional success. But there is this need for you to really just wait for the right time to act so that you're not rushing into this. And the other card I have is the Nine of Swords for you. So I see this has been impacting your sleep for a lot of you. There is a feeling here that whatever this decision is, it's been a difficult one to make because you don't want to rush, you don't want to hurt other people, and you want to make sure that either you're not being too selfish by making this choice, or that you're not being too hurtful to others by making this choice. Your bottom deck energy is the Eight of Wands. So Spirit is indicating there is a ticking bomb within you, in the sense of you can hear it every day, just tick, 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 ticking, telling you that you have to act soon, telling you that you have to make a choice soon, telling you that this situation is temporary, so we need to overcome this soon. The Eight of Wands is telling me there is a lot of fire here. There is a lot of desire to move forward. There is a lot of desire for movement, full stop. With the Eight of Wands, I'm feeling a desire for communication, many of you. There is a need to get things grounded and to just get things going. So it feels like your conflict here is acting in a way that is respecting your desires, your wants, your needs, while also not disrespecting others who are involved in this situation. So let's get some other cards, some other tarot. If that resonates, then this is your group. I am now going to be splitting this reading into blue pill, red pill. We're starting with the red pill though. What happens if group 2 chooses the red pill? What happens if they make this about them, if they trust that other people are responsible for their own happiness, and if they simply choose to be selfish for the sake of fulfilling their emotional needs? What happens if group 2 chooses the red pill, Spirit? Oh, oh, oh. Okay, listen, I got to start with the card that's on top. So we have the Ten of Wands in the reverse. So I'm going to put it down, but I'm hearing it's difficult. It's difficult because you're not selfish, group 2. You have beautiful big hearts. You are the kind of people who take care of your own. You take care of the people who you feel connected to, whether that's family or friends. You're very much a kind being who just loves the people that you love. And it's hard for you to make this choice. The red pill isn't the easier choice. You need to know that. Due to your morals, due to your values, due to your beautiful soul and your heart, this isn't the easier choice for you to make. But it also liberates you from other people's responsibilities. With the Ten of Wands, you are letting go of things that aren't actually your duty to carry. And it isn't easy because it takes time. You choosing the red pill doesn't mean it's a quick cut and dry release. It's you having to constantly reassert your boundaries and remind people that you've taken the red pill. Like, I'm sorry, but I need to do this for me. My emotional happiness is what matters. My desires for success are what matters. I know that we care about each other, but I need to do this for me, and it's time for you to do the same for you. I see this being a difficult choice, but it pays off because the relief is instant. As soon as you take those wands off your back, you're like, wow, I should have made this decision a lot sooner. Group 2, what do they need to know about taking the red pill? What happens? Okay, we have the Three of Swords. Oof, there is going to be a small cycle of healing because this is an emotional matter for you. You take this personally. It's hurtful. It's hard, but it's only temporary. Group 2, what do they need to know about taking the red pill? I feel that for some of you, this is a third-party situation. We have the wheel in the reverse. Yes, it's about maintaining optimism and taking it slow. Your bottom deck energy is the Nine of Cups, your wish fulfillment. So what you need to know about taking the red pill is that there is going to be a period of healing because you're letting go of things that don't serve you, but it's a messy period of transition. With the Ten of Wands, you're a beautiful person. You have a beautiful big heart. It's not an easy choice for you to make. This selfish act isn't easy, and it does impact you emotionally. You need to heal yourself with this Three of Swords. You need to give yourself time to heal yourself. It is important that if you choose the red pill, you don't measure your outcome based on what other people have done. With the wheel here, Spirit is saying this isn't an unfortunate event. It is necessary. It happened for a reason. It doesn't mean that success isn't guaranteed. It doesn't mean that what is happening now is foreshadowing the future. It just means that you need to take it slow and you need to give yourself time to heal. Jupiter reversed, or this block energy, isn't bad energy. In fact, it's indicating that this is a very necessary process. You've made a significant choice that has led to significant change, and now we need to give ourselves a significant amount of time to heal. With the Three of Swords energy, it's going to vary for each and every one of you. Some people will cycle through this healing very quickly. Others of you will feel a lot of concern over how the other people are impacted by your decision. But you need to remind yourself why you did this with the Nine of Cups. You did this so that you could be happy. You did this because you only live once, and your emotional happiness is all that matters. We are only responsible for our own happiness, and it is important in this life that we remind ourselves of that, because that is the case for everyone. These other people in your life, as hard as it was for them, they are responsible for their happiness. And it is important that if they want to heal, if they want to be happy, they have to make that happen for themselves. You aren't responsible for healing the other parties involved. You aren't responsible for continuing to make those people happy just because you did at one point in your life. You have the opportunity here to end two really difficult cycles, one being emotional manipulation and the other one being this energetic manipulation, feeling responsible for other people's energies, for other people's drive, for their passion, for their purpose. Some of you became the main object of someone's life in the sense that they pinned all of their expectations on you. They pinned all of their happiness on you. They pinned all of their daily routine on you. And it's now choosing the red pill gives you the opportunity to completely rewrite that for yourself. The wheel is another 10. We are completely changing this and ending it. But it's important that we're patient with ourselves while we heal through this change. So let's have a look at what happens if you choose the blue pill. If you choose to maintain what you currently have and you choose to stay where you currently are. Group 2, what happens if they choose the blue pill? We have the Seven of Wands reverse. So it's going to create a lot of inner conflict in the sense that you're a strong person, you know you can do it, but I'm seeing anxiety, I'm seeing stress, I'm seeing physically burning out. Some of you it's hair loss. For others of you, your skin and your hormones are very much impacted by your emotions or your stress. It seems to impact you physically. The Seven of Wands is telling me that we're repeating this inner conflict cycle of needing to be defensive and offensive at times in order to have our needs met. Group 2, what happens if they keep their current circumstances and take the blue pill? Group 2. We got 3 cards. All right. The first card I want to show you is the Page of Pentacles. Okay. Oh, goodness. I just heard we peaked early. We peaked early. The Page of Pentacles, goodness, reversed. We got the Five of Pentacles reversed, stuck in a period of isolation and cold. And we also have the Four of Cups, a feeling of missed opportunity and regret. All right, so your bottom deck energy is Temperance in the reverse now. Now it's harder to keep control over how we feel. Now it's harder to continue this. Now it's even harder to continue lying to ourselves and to tell ourselves that we're happy. Temperance as your bottom deck energy is a feeling of being out of control of your emotions and of how you feel. It's this feeling as though we're just looping through life, and I feel that some of you may have a temper as well. Even if you don't, there's this feeling of frustration, like you're always just at breaking point. You're always ready to just burst. You're always ready to leave. Some of you have this fight or flight thing, where when things become overwhelming, you just need to get out of town. You just need to get in the car and drive. You just need to book the next flight. You just need to tell yourself that, you know, I need time and I need space. And I see that constantly happening here. If you choose the blue pill, if you choose to maintain what you currently have, you're not going to be able to maintain it much longer. It's going to feel very, very much taxing on your physical body. With the Page of Pentacles here, I did already talk about the Seven of Wands. The Page of Pentacles is telling me that you peaked too early. The pages are supposed to grow. They develop their skill set by being curious, young, somewhat naive energies. Pages for me represent like teenager energies, you know, someone who's taking an apprenticeship. The Page of Pentacles skill set is wealth, ultimately. This is like an entrepreneur. This is someone who is trying to be self-employed or create some sort of business or company. And when it's reversed, it's like this project never got off the ground. It's like this potential never fully grew. It never became what it was meant to be. Instead of becoming the King of Pentacles, you know, this creatively, not necessarily creative, but this monetarily secure and successful business person, instead of becoming that, we're stuck being a trainee. We're stuck being an apprentice. We're stuck settling on something that wasn't meant to be permanent here. The Page of Pentacles is saying that taking the blue pill leads to a lot of missed opportunity, a lot of insecurity as well, and a lot of projection of insecurity. It's you starting to look around and realize how much you've sacrificed in order to maintain this blue pill experience. It's you realizing that you've never truly embraced your passion and your potential. And I think that your passion is one of the main ways that you woke up to the red pill experience, because if you didn't feel so attractive to this opportunity, you would have maintained this blue pill desire. You wouldn't have even bothered with looking at other opportunities here. The other card I want to show you is our Five of Pentacles. The Five of Pentacles is a challenge to overcome abandonment, essentially. It's this feeling of being in the cold, and it's challenging you physically, it's challenging you financially, and sometimes in terms of your health as well. So I feel like the challenge here just continues. The challenge becomes unsurmountable, and it's all a matter of perception. But once you decide to stay where you're at, you tell yourself that, well, it could be worse. And all of a sudden, everything that you're going through, however taxing it is on your physical body, on your health, on your finances, you tell yourself that it could be worse. And this mentality leads to more infertility. It leads to more complacency. And ultimately, you're feeling even more abandoned because you've abandoned yourself, Group 2. You've let yourself go, in the sense that you've lost your passion, you've lost your sense of direction, you've lost your desire to put yourself first. And by addressing everybody else's needs here, by addressing everybody else's wants from you and expectations from you, you've forgotten what you truly want, and you've abandoned yourself in the process. I know this sounds really harsh, but this is the energy that I'm feeling, and I want to make sure that you receive this information cut and dry so that you can make this choice in your own way. But this last card, the Four of Cups, is saying that choosing the blue pill for you, Group 2, leads to a lot of boredom. It leads to a feeling of, I've really just missed the mark here. When is this going to change? And it leads to a lot of emotional detachment. Whoever is in your life is going to start to feel very foreign to you. You're not going to feel connected to them. You're not going to want to be with them. You know, whether this is a romantic relationship or a work situation, you're going to feel very emotionally detached from your world. You're going to feel like an alien living amongst humans, and you just can't relate to them. You can't relate to what they're saying or what they want from you, what they expect from you. And it's very sad, because By choosing the blue pill, you're not only limiting your own experience, but you're limiting the experience of others around you. If someone isn't meant for us choosing to be with them because it's easier is us also limiting that person or that situation from finding who or what they are truly meant to find in this lifetime. And when we think of it like that, it suddenly becomes a very selfless decision to leave. Because not only are we limiting our own opportunities, we're limiting theirs, and us leaving frees them as well. And that is what you need to hear in this situation. Now I'm going to get you some oracle cards to summarize this reading to see if there's anything else that you need to know about your matrix experience. Group 2, what else do they need to know about this decision? What else do they need to know about this decision? We have follow the leader, 40. So others have walked this path before you. There is someone or somewhere, somehow, to get accurate advice or information on your circumstances. Spirit is indicating this isn't a completely new path. It may be new to you, but there is a way through this in a practical manner. And it might be about you curiously entertaining research. Well, if I did pick the red pill, it's going to be difficult, but what would that look like? How do I set myself up for success in this situation instead of failure? I know that it's going to impact me emotionally, so who can I reach out to for support? I know that it may impact me financially, so how can I soften that impact and really maximize my resources? You know, it's about creating a practical plan because there are answers out there for the questions that you seek. Follow the leader, Spirit is saying. We have rescue. So your circumstances are temporary, and I feel that everything is aligning so that you don't have to be a victim here. It's not about being a victim to your circumstances or a slave to your position. It's about being a survivor of the challenges that you've been through. And I feel like you're having an opportunity here to rescue yourself and to rescue somebody else from this as well. Even though they think they're happy in this situation with you, I definitely feel that what isn't meant for you is taken in order for that thing to find what is truly meant for them as well. And whether this is a relationship or a job, I do feel like your circumstances are changing in order to rescue you from this situation. It's about changing that perspective to be more optimistically geared and to understand that everything happens for a reason, and what is happening for you, not to you. You are a survivor in this situation, not a victim. Now, we also have details. Create a practical plan, really do your research, ask the right people, make sure that you are safe at all times, make sure that it is a very well thought out plan so that it doesn't have to be as difficult of a decision to make because you have, thought about your finances or your health or your happiness and just looking after your emotional well-being. Spirit is saying pay attention to the details, give yourself time if that helps, but make sure that you're being practical and productive with your time. Create a practical plan and really pay attention to the fine print here. Your bottom deck energy is commitment. And honestly, my group 2s, once you formulate this idea, once you choose to take that red pill, it is about committing yourself to that decision. Even if you choose to take the blue pill, it is about committing yourself to that decision. Spirit is also indicating with this card that you need to forge this commitment to yourself because you've lost this within yourself. Some of you are already committing to the red pill and you just need to know what would have happened if you stayed. But for others of you, it is about putting your own needs first and making this commitment to your inner self, that you deserve happiness and that whatever challenges you do or may face, they are only going to be temporary and you can overcome them, group 2. So that is what I have for you, group 2. I'm going to be taking this into the extended now on Patreon. The link to our Patreon community is in the description box below. So what I did for group 1 is in Patreon, we looked at this decision further and I broke it down into 3 categories of career, life, and love. I asked Spirit, how is this decision impacting your career? So I asked Spirit, how is this decision impacting your career, your life, and your love life as well? So that will be over on Patreon. We just got cut off by my alarm, so I just had to re-record that part. If you wish to join us there, the link is down below. Otherwise, look after your wonderful selves, and I shall see you in another video. Bye! Hi Group 3 and welcome. If you chose the colourful quartz, that's the best way I can describe it because it's got all these little gorgeous veins in it, and this is going to be your reading. So Group 3, today's video has been inspired by two beautiful things. First of all, it was a suggestion by a wonderful viewer. I've been taking a lot of those lately, so if you do have a suggestion, email it through. I may not be able to reply, but I do read every email. So today's reading is inspired by two things that I love, the Matrix and choice. So the idea is, I've noticed especially in the readings lately, a lot of us are facing important decisions. We have important choices to make, and I had a viewer reach out and say they don't really know which choice to make, which decision to make, and could I do a reading that would explain what would happen if they made that choice versus this choice. So the idea of this video is we're exploring what happens if you take the red pill versus the blue pill, if you choose option A or option B, if you choose to change or if you choose to stay, for example. Now, to help you understand if this is definitely your group, I'm going to be getting tarot to have a look at what your decision may be and what information is related to your decision. That will help you understand if this is definitely your group. If this information doesn't resonate, then you may want to go and check if any of the other two groups have information for you. So your first card is the Hermit. So what do I need to know, or what does Group 3 need to know about this decision that will help them understand if this is their group? We also have the King of Wands reversed, interesting energy, and we have the Justice card reversed, which is the number 8 in this deck, and I'm also being shown the King of Pentacles reversed. Oh my gosh, stuck between a rock and a hard place, you guys. Holy, there's a lot of masculine energy here. Wow. Some of you are fighting someone or something. Goodness, that's the best way I could describe it off the cuff. Your other card, in terms of your bottom deck energy, is the Page of Pentacles. So I'm going to pop that down, and I just want to sit on this energy for a little bit because it's quite confronting, to say the least. I've been in a very feminine energy lately, and this is incredibly masculine. I feel instantly drained. So your decision is about two different things. For some of you, it's two people, and it's about balancing your choice so that both people win. For some of you, it's family versus passion. It's family versus what do I want? It's this person versus that person. It's this brother versus that brother. And I think that your way of coping with this decision right now is to just isolate yourself with the Hermit. Like, you just don't want to know. But the universe is saying you need to make a choice here because you can't keep entertaining both of these. You can't keep trying to maintain appearances for both of these kings. The King of Pentacles could be influenced by your workplace or your health. It could also be some form of study that you've been taking. It could be a choice of, well, do I continue this study or do I follow my passion instead? Do I continue this job or do I do what I really want in my heart instead? And the ultimate choice to make here is very black and white for you. It's literally stuck between a rock and a hard place because they're just as powerful, or they could lead to just as much success, but it's going to be in completely different avenues, if that makes sense. If you choose, then you know that in your heart that you have to commit to that one option. Once you make this decision, there's no going back. Especially with Justice in the middle here, reverse. Justice is really trying to help you make this happen ASAP because your window of opportunity is closing on both sides, is what I feel. And the Page of Pentacles is reminding you that even though this is a big important decision to make, you are still going to receive more opportunity regardless. Some of you need to know that you're still young, and for others of you who feel like you're not still young, the Page of Pentacles is just saying that their opportunities for growth are still out there regardless of what choice you make. It's not like you're sealing your coffin by making the choice here. You're simply cutting one of these opportunities out and you're focusing solely on the other. And I do feel many of you feeling more pulled to this King of Wands, this passionate, creative, slightly unstable, yet needs to be chosen so that you can invest more energy into the planning option. Whereas this King of Pentacles is stable, it's reliable, it's tried, it's tested, it's true, but there's no passion here. It's you following somebody else's footsteps. It's you fulfilling somebody else's expectations. It's you doing what would be the right thing to do by society's standards. It doesn't necessarily feel like a passionate option. In fact, it feels very cold. It feels very calculated. It feels very tried and true. It feels like something that is so well formulated that you could do it without having to think or feel. And that is a little bit scary, if I might say. So the Page of Pentacles as your bottom deck energy is reminding you that choosing an option right now doesn't mean that you'll be limited in everything that you do moving forward. You will still have the opportunity to receive abundance from other avenues. I feel like making a decision here doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to miss out on other areas of your life, and that is where we'll go into the extended as well. We're going to break it down further, but I'll talk about that at the end. If this resonates as general as it is, I'm going to now be delving into this energy further. We're going to look at what would happen if you take the red pill, which in this case is if you choose your King of Wands, or if you take the blue pill, which in this case would be your King of Pentacles. So I'm going to be using the Romance Angels deck to delve into this. I want to go into the red pill side first, and we'll see what happens if you choose the King of Wands. So group 3, please, Spirit. What happens if they take their red pill? What happens if group 3 takes their red pill? Okay, we have the Justice card upright. Wow, so remember, Justice was reversed up here. Justice was saying that something isn't right and you need to make this decision now. Justice is upright. Justice is served down here. And we also have the 5 of Swords, choosing to walk away, being the bigger person, possible social misfortune, but ultimately making the difficult choice to end this end this conflict. Group 3, what happens if they choose to take their red pill? What happens if they choose to take their red pill? Okay, we have the Magician in the reverse. So you're being the bigger person. There's a sense of raising the white flag. I feel that pride is something that's coming into play here. Someone has to admit defeat in order for this situation to move forward. And the Magician's energy in the reverse is a feeling of losing confidence. It is a feeling of having to remove a mask of confidence in order to admit that perhaps you didn't know everything, or perhaps you didn't have as much as you thought you did. I want to say that somebody takes an ego blow here. Taking the red pill means we have to be more honest with ourselves. We have to appear a little bit softer, perhaps. I don't want to say the word, but what I'm hearing is that we have to look weaker is what I'm hearing, but I don't feel like that's the case. I think it's a matter of pride as well. And I don't think that it's a wrong thing here. It's just you have to almost take the fall in order for this situation to happen. Communication becomes tricky here. Choosing the King of Wands means that justice is served for you, but you have to be very careful about who you can choose to include in your journey moving forward, because the 5 of Swords is telling me that not everybody agrees with the decision that you've made, and with the Magician reversed, people don't understand why you've made this choice. People think that you were doing yourself a disservice. People think that you were limiting your potential by following the King of Wands. People think that you've almost set yourself up for failure, but the truth is that you're still powerful, you're still successful. It's just in a way that other people in your community don't recognize. This is like you blazing the trail for the first time. People who were around you, they've never seen someone like you do what you're doing, and it's very new to them. It's very much a scary thing, a scary process. There's a lot of potential failure in their eyes. They're not seeing the potential success. I think with the Magician card being here full stop, it's saying that you are incredibly powerful, you have a lot of potential, and that this process, this journey, this story is still being written. I think that we have the opportunity to change the circumstances depending on who we choose to involve in the journey moving forward. This is if you choose your King of Wands, your red pill. It's about being very selective over who has creative input moving forward. You know, who are you going to turn to for advice, because you seem to be the powerful one here. And even though other people may not recognize that, that's okay, because their opinion doesn't matter necessarily. Your bottom deck energy is the Six of Wands, so there is success here. There is some sense of public recognition. There is a feeling here of being recognized for whatever efforts you make. And I think that it takes time. I'm not going to lie. I definitely think that some people will be very supportive, but other people may have very strong opinions. In fact, a lot of people will hope that you prove them wrong, but they don't necessarily support what you're doing because in their mind it's very risky. It's something that doesn't have a big payoff. It doesn't have a lot of reward, but you know you need to do this because justice is telling you to as well. Justice is here saying that it's now or never. Let's make this choice. Let's make sure that we're doing it for ourselves, and let's just weed out the naysayers here. Let's be very careful about who we include in our process moving forward, because not everybody needs to be involved. Not everybody needs to have an input. Now, let's have a look at what happens if you choose your blue pill. If you choose the King of Pentacles instead, what happens for group 3 if they choose the King of Pentacles instead? If they choose their blue pill. We have the Knight of Cups. Interesting. And it was almost a blockage, but I didn't fully take it as that, so I won't change it yet. What happens if group 3 takes the blue pill? What happens if group 3 takes the blue pill? What happens if group 3 takes the blue pill, please? Oops. Hello. Okay, goodness. Some of you would make your mother very happy with the Empress. It's what your mother would prefer. Goodness. It's a safer option, but you're not being honest with yourself. The Seven of Swords. It's a safer option, but it involves you lying to what you truly want here. Bottom deck energy being the Seven of Pentacles, it's definitely a safe option. It's about slow growth. It's about slowly accumulating success. It's about understanding that, you know, with time, maybe I'll be happy. But there's a lot of risk over here with the King of Wands, but there's also a lot of excitement. There's a lot of passion. There's a lot of caution. There's a lot of, you know, we need to be careful who we tell, because we know that not everybody is going to help us, but there's so much excitement here. Over here, there's a lot of comfort. There's a lot of impressing other people and making sure other people are supportive of your dreams, but there's also a lot of dishonesty. There's a lot of lying to yourself. There's a lot of getting stuck and stagnant in the same old cycles. With the sevens here, I'm not saying that either one is easy, but there's passion here. There's not a lot of passion there. If you choose your blue pill, if you choose to stay in your King of Pentacles energy, I think that you would make those around you very happy. I think that it would be a very difficult decision for you to make with the Knight of Cups, This energy is a very timid energy at first, but once it makes a choice, this is someone who is completely dedicated to the task. You would only be able to choose the blue pill if you could convince your heart that it was the right decision to make. That is the only way that you would choose the blue pill. You are so passionate about the King of Wands, about your red pill opportunity, following your passions and following your creative dreams. The only way that you could possibly choose the King of Pentacles is if you convinced your heart that it was the right thing to do, and it would be a very difficult choice to make. It would require a lot of time and effort. In fact, if this is a career choice, you would actually need to take a long break first. You would need to take leave to be able to feel ready to start working again. And with the Empress card here, I think that there is a feminine in your life who would be very happy with this decision. In fact, I'm hearing like a mother. A mother would love for you to continue down this King of Pentacles path, because it's tried, it's tested, it's true, it's safe, it's comfortable, it's stable. It's the kind of job that probably has healthcare benefits, you know. It's the kind of situation that maybe children are involved in as well with the Empress energy. It feels safe. It feels like there could be growth there as well. It's not just a stuck and stagnant option. I know I said that before, But I think that if you convince your heart that you can do it, then maybe there's additional growth here. But I definitely feel like this is a choice that is helping others more than it's helping yourself. And the main reason I say that is because we have the Seven of Swords here. And the Seven of Swords is saying that you are lying to yourself in this situation. You're lying to others in this situation. Choosing the blue pill, the King of Pentacles, this tried and tested and stable option, is going to lead to a lot of inner conflict. It's leading to you having to wear a mask and perform a show every day and pretend to everyone and yourself that you're happy when you're truly not. And those closest to you are going to have this sense of you slowly dying, in the sense of your passion, your dreams, the way that you talk about your life. It's this feeling of you're wearing such a mask in order to fulfill these other people's expectations of you. And over time, it just becomes that much harder to make it happen. It becomes that much harder to perform the show. It becomes that much harder to pretend that you want to do this anymore, until eventually you feel like you're leading somebody else's life. You feel so disconnected from your life that it feels like you're not even you anymore. You don't even know what you actually like doing anymore. You don't even know what you're passionate about anymore. And this option, this opportunity, this King of Wands red pill opportunity slowly just becomes a distant memory. And it's not to say that you won't have growth by choosing the blue pill, but I definitely think that this, whatever this is, it's a once in a lifetime thing. It's very rare, and it doesn't happen for a lot of people, which is why it's so risky, and which is why so many people in your life have strong opinions over it, because they haven't seen someone do this and pull it off. Doesn't mean it can't happen. The Six of Wands is saying you are going to have success. It just means that it isn't what other people want for you. And if you can live with that, if you can live with the fact that you're following your passions and going against someone else, then I mean, the red pill seems to be where all the passion is. That's all I can say. I'm not telling you how to live your life, but I am here to give you information on what I'm feeling intuitively. And in terms of this decision, there's passion here, there's stability here, but there's also a lot of lies here. There's also a lot of risk here. It's up to you. The Seven of Pentacles is telling me that with time it becomes easier, but I also feel like this is a slow decline. A very slow way to live. It's very, very, very stable. If you're not looking for excitement, if you're more than happy to sacrifice your dreams in order to maintain stability, like, I don't know your circumstances, group 3. You could have a lot of dependence. You could have children that you care for or family that you care for. If you want stability, then Spirit is saying you will have that with the blue pill. The blue pill will give you slow progress, slow, stable progress. Now, I just want to get some oracle cards before I close this reading to have a look at what else you need to know about this decision. Group 3, please, Spirit. What else do they need to know about this decision? Okay, we have cleaning house. Interesting. I think even now, while you're trying to make this choice, you got to be honest with everything, all of your baggage, all of the information. Honestly, look at everything. Tidy the situation up, and if it helps, break it down to brass tacks, black and white, pros and cons of both sides of this narrative. Cleaning house is saying that there's an easier way to make this choice. It doesn't have to be this difficult. It can be a black and white decision. It can be less messy, is what I feel. Breaking it down to pros and cons of both sides of this. Now we have rescue here as well. I don't think that was meant to be reversed, but I will explain what I feel when that card does become reversed. That card, rescue, is about your mentality on the situation, whether you choose to perceive yourself as a victim, as a passive rider, someone who doesn't have a lot of say in the narrative, who just simply acts when they're told to act and who takes whatever challenge they're given, or whether you choose to change that perspective to be more of the survivor rather than the victim, the hero rather than the, supporting character, someone who is able to influence their circumstances through their actions, beliefs and behaviors, thoughts and behaviors. It is about taking control of what you can control and telling yourself you're not a victim in these circumstances, you're a survivor. And whatever you're going through is temporary, it can change. Your present situation doesn't have to reflect your future. It's up to you. It's up to how you choose to perceive the situation. Are you a victim or a survivor? Are you going to continue, or are you going to try to change your future? It's up to you. Your bottom deck energy is unexpected visitors in the reverse. So unexpected visitors is telling me that there's probably other sides to this story. There's probably more information that you need to be made aware about. This could be more practical information, exploring these two further, doing research into both choices, writing up that pros and cons list, asking information from the appropriate sources. It's also about keeping things simple, though. You don't necessarily, maybe something that you're looking for isn't actually out there. It's about understanding when you have enough as well. I think that this card is reversed because you're almost waiting and waiting and waiting for something that may never happen. Ultimately, this decision is yours to make. And as long as you have enough information, as long as you've done enough research and you've written out your list and you've asked the right people, it's going to be on you to make that choice. No one can make this decision for you, Group 3. I think that unexpected visitors is, especially in the reverse, is almost saying something that you're waiting for a miracle to happen, or you're waiting for someone to twist your arm and force you to do this, but it needs to happen on your terms, in your time. It's your choice to make. I definitely think that doing more research won't hurt, but make sure it's independently operated. It's not just this Empress person telling you, oh, so-and-so did this and that's how it worked out for them. Make sure you're the one doing the research and that you're getting the information from the horse's mouth. So Group 3, that is what I have for you in terms of your red pill, blue pill experience. This is what would happen if you took your red pill and your blue pill. This is roughly what you need to know about this situation. I hope it was informative. Your reading was a lot more general, so I do need to tell you to take what resonates, don't let the rest take from you. That's just in terms of the reader, by the way. It could be very specific for you, but I do always, with it being a pick a card general reading, like to say that resonating message. I am going to take this into the extended now. On Patreon, we'll be looking into what else you need to know about this decision and how this decision will impact your life, your career, and your love situation as well. So we're going to break that down over on Patreon. The link to that is down below. If this is where you are leaving us, please look after yourself, trust yourself. You are the only one who can make this choice, but I hope this reading was informative for you, and I shall see you in another video. Bye!